Also new at 9, as the birthplace of Route 66, Springfield is honoring the Mother Road for its 100th birthday through art. The city is making sure the Centennial Sculpture Series is ready for next month's festival. Now, one sculpture in the works is the keys for the information kiosk. Designed and fabricated by Pinnacle Sign Company, the kiosk takes the form of oversized car keys. They're being installed downtown at the corner of Jefferson Avenue and St. Louis Street. And that's where you'll be able to learn about Springfield's history with Route 66 during the festival. And the base of the new sculpture is finished. Now the gateway to Route 66 just needs to be placed. This is just west of Glenstone along St. Louis Street. The monument, noting Springfield as the birthplace of Route 66, will feature a crown representing the Queen City and will have a spot for people to take pictures.